Ahoy! Captain M. Kenway, back. Today, we're doing another heist on the Royal Crest Sea Fortress with some small tweaks made to that, as well as doing some explosion fun, as they've made more tweaks to the black powder gunpowder barrels. This is Inside the Sea. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Inside the Sea. Today, we're doing the Smuggler Heist yet again, a little bit later on, and we're discussing some behind-the-scenes voyage locking tech that Rare is implementing to limit voyage use and voyage spam. And we also are going to test the explosions for the new black powder barrels here soon. But first, they've got a little bit of small HUD changes with the performance counters to look into. This is a small bit with the HUD real fast, but on PC, in the video settings, you can set the performance counters to FPS and ping, or FPS. They've also now added to be able to view just your ping, if you would like, on PC, and you can't see it here because I'm on PC, but on consoles, you also can now view FPS or your FPS and ping at the same time, like you can do on PC. So now console also has the performance counters. Don't believe console will have just the ping, but they will have FPS or both. So that's exciting. Perfect. Some black powder barrels left here in the tavern for testing purposes. Placeholder. That's my favorite place to turn stuff into, to be honest with you. So we're gonna stash up on a couple of these before we head out. But first, of course, we have to grab one and blow it up. And they take 100 points of damage before they blow up now. Absolutely spectacular. Now, I don't remember exactly how strong they are. I believe they are, in offense-wise, when you blow them up, the explosion's power is dependent on what ship you blow them up on. So if you blow it up on a sloop, it's not going to be anywhere near as powerful as if you were to blow it up on a galleon or a brig. And then, of course, it's also not going to be as powerful on a brig as if you blew it up on a galleon. So they seem to, the power of them scales based on the ship that they get blown up on. Now, of course, we're blowing them up on an island, so I don't really know if they have some sort of default value that they go to beforehand, or if it's also, or if the explosion even on islands is still solely based on what ship you're on when you blow them up. I'm not 100% sure on that part, but I do know that their explosions on ships scale with the ship that they're on when they get blown up. They also added, with this update, a new fuse effect to better match the longer fuse time that these bigger barrels have. They also enhanced the knockback on the explosions on player pirates and everything, so you go flying even farther back away from it. Better make sure you're under deck if that thing blows up, or you're going flying. Probably just as much, if not more so, than a stronghold gunpowder barrel. I don't remember if the gunpowder barrels that were attached to the rowboats like that when they came out during the adventure thing. Don't remember if they looked exactly like that or if those are like new visual effects, but either case, it still looks dope as fuck. I am sad to report that these naturally spawned fleets, like the world event fleets that spawn naturally, not Dove 2, but these naturally spawned ones, unfortunately, none of the skeleton ships in it spawn with any of the new black powder barrels in them. Emergent ones are like ones that spawn on you, or that you find randomly out in the world, have them on them. But these guys for the fleet, unfortunately, do not. Let it be known that even though the fleet does not spawn with them, I do wholeheartedly believe that they should. But, for the time being, since fleets don't naturally spawn with the barrels on them, that's why we brought our own. They might not have them to use, but I have them to use. And, yeah, that's what we'll do. Amazing. Truly the greatest of fireworks ever to witness. That fuse is also really 10 seconds is way longer than you think it is. So, I was thinking here, and I know that's probably not a good idea, but with the Smuggler Heist notes, with all these heist note things, like the Siren Voyage of this one, and potentially any future ones that they add in, I feel like, I don't know, I was tempted to say that maybe the Smuggler one should be on the other side of the mast, but now that I think about it a little bit more, the whole, like, competitive voyage type aspect thing, always having the note for it be in the same spot on the mast makes a little bit more sense to me. But I still thought I'd just throw the thought out there. Anyway, so we're here at Crooked Masts to grab the Royal Crest Fortress key for the heist because they changed it in this insider update. The key location is now set to the closest smuggler hideout to whoever first opts into it. So if you're the first person to opt into the voyage, the key will spawn at the smuggler hideout closest to you. So if you're down by Crook's Hollow, it'll go there. Or if you're by Plunder Valley, it'll go there. If you're up by Old Faithful, it'll be there. If you're over by Crescent Isle or Smuggler Bay, it'll be there. That sort of thing. So if you're the first person to opt in, the key will be at the smuggler that's closest to you. So, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I feel like there's potential for that to be maybe abused in a way or another, but I don't know. The key is shown on the map at all times, and you do get a note that tells you exactly who to go to, but I don't know. Having it be close like that sounds kind of, I don't know, seems kind of weird, but maybe, I don't know, maybe the Siren Voyage works similar to that too, so maybe it's not as bad as I'm thinking, and I'm just overthinking it. Who knows? Alright, time to raid the fortress, and as you can see, they made it so that the Sea Fort now fires cannons at whoever's first to approach it, and since it's skeletons, they are, very fucking accurate. Actually wild. Whereas approaching a normal sea fortress, you'd take maybe one hit. Approaching these guys, and you take like 80. Actually wild. So So we breached and raided inside the fortress, and up here on, oh, maybe like the midish level where this outer balcony area is at, there's a couple piles of gold that you can grab, which these are dotted around the entire fortress. But these two up here on this level are, as you can see, very fucking special, as the way that you have to pick them up is very sensitive. Like, even just circling around it into the wrong position cancels the pickup of it. You can't even just slightly walk a little bit away from it and it cancels it as well. But we'll see a little bit later that there are actually pretty much every other gold pile outside of those ones that are around the fortress you can freely grab. You can freely walk around it, fully circle it. You can walk a little ways away from it, and it doesn't cut off the pickup animation for it. So I'm not sure what's wrong with those ones, but it's pretty flawless game design, if I do say so myself. As you see, another fun and interesting change that they made with this update is they added a gunpowder Reaper rowboat down here into the basement of the Sea Fortress. This is such a cool feature with this. I wish they could make that a random spawn on any and all Sea Fortresses that you go to. Just randomly have a chance that there's a rowboat inside the basement of the Sea Fortress. That would be so cool and so useful. So, now that we found the correct painting inside the fortress, like we're supposed to, I'm pretty sure everybody knows that the painting has been found. Also, everybody receives a new map that shows you each location on each island where the 6 smugglers are at for where the painting needs to be turned into. Now, this is cool. I personally think instead, though, what they should do is, instead of giving everybody a map with the spots circled, what they should do is, instead they should use the blue beacons from the Siren Voyage that marks where the chest and the key is at. They should use those instead, but just color in red, and have one on each of the 6 smugglers on the islands. That way, if you look at the map, or you look out, like you look at the map, you can see where the painting is at. And then you can look out on the horizon, and you can see all 6 red beacon marks. So you know that painting on that map is going to one of those marks somewhere. It's just a matter of who's going to take it to which one. It'd be a much easier visual to represent, to give everybody that's partaking in the voyage to know where they need to go. Or maybe make it so that instead of beacons in the sky or a map that you're given, we can make it so that there's just like little marks on the map. I don't know what the symbol would look like or something like that, but it could just be a mark on the map on each of the island where a smuggler is at, and we put a mark on the map where the smuggler is, so that when you're looking at the map to see where the painting is at, if you're the person that doesn't have it, when you're looking to see where the painting is at, you can also see where on the map the smuggler people are at, so you know about where they're at and where the person with the painting may or may not be going. Also, little side tangent here thing, they did, with this Insider update, they changed up the way the Cannon of Rage interaction prompt things pop up and how they interact, or how they're popped up and stuff like that. So it's easier to, target the appropriate spot that you want on the cannon, whether that's retracting it, using it, or getting into it. That way you're not fighting over the prompts to see which one you want to use and which one you don't want to use, like it is currently in the live game, and it's very frustrating, I know. So this is a nice quality little change here. They also I'm kind of just messing with it here a little bit, but the where, like the positioning and stuff for your character and for the screen and stuff that you have to be to like stop the interaction prompts, I thought was just really interesting. So I was just playing with that for a little. So real quick before we go turn the painting from the heist in, this update did a little bit more on a back end for locking voyages. Currently right now, one thing is if you propose a voyage and cancel it too many times in a row, it locks the voyage off from you from being able to propose it again for a little while to prevent, voyage spamming and stuff like that. Another way with the voyage locking thing is that if you complete a voyage too quickly, like if you from like voyage start screen to voyage end screen, when you get the little voyage complete thing, if the time between that is shorter than they expect it to be, or than it should be, according to Rare, of course, then what they'll also do is they'll also lock that voyage from you to show that you're, potentially exploiting because you're finishing the voyage too soon. So you can't propose it too soon again after completion. So that's another way that they're locking the voyages off. And one more way they can lock a voyage is Rare will just decide to lock a voyage. Just on their end, they'll just lock the voyage and nobody at all can do it. While the other two ways were simply crew-based. Rare can do it for everyone. Now, let's go sell that painting. First, I guess we're gonna deal with these guys real quick. Anywho, so here we are. Sell the painting, get that nice 150k payout. I still don't think it needs to be 150k. I know all the painting prices and stuff like that are placeholder at the current moment, but it's still 150k seems a bit much. 100k would be fine. Even just 75k, honestly. Like either or would be okay. And we get the insider reward. Because I guess that painting is worth a hell of a lot. So, all in all, not too much craziness this episode, more smaller stuff, but the voyage lock thing is definitely something to keep your eyes out on. It will definitely ruin your Gold Hoarder Vault Key farming and your Skull of Destiny farming that I'm sure a lot of people do on the live game at the current moment. So, just be eyes out for that and any updates to the heist potentially. But other than that, appreciate all of you to watch and I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next episode. Cheers.